Welcome to Colchester Zoo, Running Wild. I'm your host Melanie and my two co-hosts are Elena and Christiana. Today we'll be going on an adventure around South America, seeing many different animals, specifically ones that live in the sky and sea. Hope you enjoy. These are Patagonian sea lions. They live in South America and are approximately 7,000 miles away from their home. These sea lions are living in this massive 500,000 gallon enclosure. However, this is still significantly smaller than their home. Typical males are approximately 9 feet long and weigh close to 800 pounds. They're looking pretty small, so let's get a little closer.
Sea lions are a descendant of a land-based carnivore that lived 27 to 25 million years ago, which shows how they have evolved to suit their needs. Sea lions typically live in groups, but the name on the group depending on what they're doing. When the sea lions are on land, they're called a colony. When they're in the water, they're called a raft. However, during the mating season, they're called a rookery.
Sea lions cannot actually smell underwater. However, they have whiskers. These whiskers are super sensitive and allow them to detect fish, even in the worst of waters. Their eyes also open very wide, which lets in more light, which helps see more clearly. They can also detect the change in current with the whiskers.
These are the Humboldt penguins. These penguins got their names from the ocean current at their home, called the Humboldt Waves. These waves travel from the north of Antarctica to the Pacific coast of South America. The penguins have pink patches. These pink patches help them survive in warm climates by regulating their body temperature and let the excess heat escape.
The Andean condor lives in the same area as the Humboldt penguin and the Patagonian sea lion. They live in the west coast of South America, with one of those countries being Chile. Chile adore this bird so much that they've made it their national bird. The condor lives mainly in open grasslands and in alpine areas. This is because they like to live in open, non-forested areas that allows them to spot the carrion from the air.
The condor are most active during the day, spending most of their time soaring and typically travelling up 120 miles a day in search for food. Even though these birds are scavengers, they can still prey on small live animals by using their beak and repeatedly jabbing at the animal. Similarly to the penguins, once a condor finds a mate, they will stick with it for life. Once they lay an egg, if that chick or egg is lost, the condor will lay another one to take its place. Breeders take advantage of this behaviour to double reproductive rate by taking the first egg away, which causes a second one to be born.
A study was shown that they only flap their wings 1% of the time while flying. They make use of air currents to stay airborne for hours at a time. The flight recorders found one bird flew 5 hours without flapping their wings, covering around 107 miles. The condor has a wingspan of over 3 meters and is considered the largest flying bird in the world. The condor can change the colour of its skin on their neck and head, indicating the change in mood. They can also use this to communicate each other. This takes the feeling of blue to a whole new level. There are distinct differences between male and female condors is that the female has red eyes and that the male has brown eyes.
These huge flying birds are known as the king vultures. They are the same group as the condors. They can be found in both the Central and South America, but the highest population can be found in Argentina.
A fun fact about the vulture's name is that in Mayan legends, the king vulture was believed to be a type of messenger from the humans to the gods, and he started being personified as a king.
The king vulture, although getting first picked on a carcass, it is still a scavenger feeding on a carrion, which could potentially spread diseases, but they do have the means to exploit various different types of foods that other animals cannot.
The next fine animal we'll be talking about is the phantom of the north, the great grey owl. Just like the vulture, it can be found in 2 continents, both in North America and also Asia. They tend to eat small rodents or small animals such as mice.
The great grey owl has the ability to hear rodents 6 centimetres under the snow and 30 metres away, making the hearing above excellent. On top of that, they're quieter than foxes, giving it the phantom nickname.
The great grey owl is not that heavy, despite it looks the average male weight of a great grey is only 1 kg. It looks quite heavy because of its immense amount of fluffy plumage that makes the bird look larger. The next water animal that we will be talking about is the mischievous smooth-coated otter. The smooth-coated otter can be found primarily in the southeast of Asia, being primarily found in Singapore, India and China.
The smooth-coated otter are closely related to ferrets, badgers and minks, but unlike misconceptions, they are not related to beavers, but they are distant relatives of skunks.
The Chilean flamingos live in South America, along with all the other animals we have seen today. Flamingos are very social animals that nest and feed together in flocks. The flamingos in a group are called flamboyants, which describes them perfectly. Flamingos can be found on the edges of lakes and rivers. However, during the night they can be found in tall grass. Surprisingly, these birds can fly, and when they fly they communicate with loud sounds, which they use to keep the flock together. The reason flamingos stand on one leg is in order to conserve body heat.
When a flamingo isn't sleeping, eating or mating, it spends time preening its feathers. This is essential to keep their feathers clean and waterproof. Interestingly, when they sleep, they face the wind to keep the rain and moisture from getting into their coat. When it's mating season, the male gather in one place and start dancing, and the females choose the most appealing ones.